We're back.
Hey, everybody, we're back.
Thanks for listening to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Evan, and I'm a dumb dad.
My name's Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad. Thanks for, if you've been a long-time listener, thanks for dealing with our break. We were getting some stuff together. We're back. We are doing now guests regularly on our podcast. Mm-hmm. We're really excited for this new platform. This one was with Dustin Nickerson, stand-up comedian, and we had a lot of fun. So we went a little long on this, so we're just going to pretty much get to that podcast. Evan, do you want to introduce our guest?
Boy, he's a really good comedian. He's been on stage in front of Nate Bargatze. He tours with Taylor Tomlinson. He's been on The Tonight Show. He's a hell of a good comedian from my home turf in Seattle, now living in San Diego. Please welcome Dustin Nickerson. Dustin, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
thanks for having me.
being here.
Mm-hmm. Wow, what a ride, huh? From a kid from Seattle all the way to The Tonight Show.
Kid from Federal Way. Man.
Federal Way, there you go.
Yeah. The worst city name in history.
Federal Way. I grew up in Linwood, Edmonds area.
Ah, Lynn Hood, as they call it, right?
Lynn Hood, right.
Yeah, I lived in Linwood for a little while, off of 164th up there in North Enders.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Kevin, where are you from?
I'm also from a town.
Yeah. Which town? I've probably been near there.
Dracut, Massachusetts.
Okay, I've only been to Boston and Massachusetts.
Exactly.
So,
No, nobody's been to Dracut. It's it's like a half hour north of Boston. I just tell people, if you know the movie The Fighter, that takes place in Lowell or the town.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's right next door to there.
Oh, great.
Close adjacent. Wow. Yeah. We did a show in Boston, and it was so important to Kevin to be near Dracut that we didn't even go check it out.
I was like, still there? Okay. Great.
Yeah. That's how I feel about Federal Way, where I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna go to the city, where the stuff is.
Where the stuff actually happens.
I'm good. No, I'm good. I grew up in a city that was actually kind of rough growing up, but now people don't believe me because it's not now.
It's nice.
So it's nice now because as everything in the world becomes as expensive as it could ever be, 45 minutes from the city is now very expensive. I'm like, but it was tough when I was a kid. They're like,
yep.
And they go by like your house growing up is like worth like $1 million. I was like, yeah, but it was crap then. It was crap then. I got bullied. It was bad.
That's so funny because living in LA, you live in San Diego, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, living in LA, in San Diego, the houses are all so expensive. And I've always just been like, yeah, back home, it's probably costs, a handshake and $10. And then I hear it's like, actually, it's pretty close to LA prices. And it's like, why?
Ends up everywhere is expensive now. Heads up. Just heads up. Unless you're going to one of the Dakotas, it's going to be pretty expensive. And even the Dakotas complain now. The people in Fargo are like, can you believe that gas is $1?
I remember when it was free.
Yeah.
They're like, we have to pay $100 for this new Super Nintendo.
They're going to give me a fee to ride my bison to work now. What an unbelievable.
They're going to charge me to park it.
Yeah, exactly. Free bison parking. That's their Mondani.
So, thanks for coming on. You have how many kids? 4?
3 kids.
You don't want a 4th?
No, I mean,
Okay.
Our youngest is 11, so it would be quite a break.
It's a wild choice.
It is weird to think about that. I mean, timeline-wise, it would be, unless we're going to go all Father of the Bride too, we're closer to a grandkid than a kid at this point.
Oh, yeah.
You have a kid in college, is that right?
Yeah, our son went off to college last, a couple months ago. He's a freshman in college. We had our kids very irresponsibly young.
I was going to say, every time I've heard you speak about it before or post about it before that you have a kid in college, I'm like, I don't know how that's possible. Look at this guy, looks great.
Well, that's very, this guy looks fantastic for 50. Yeah. I'd have guessed 45. You're like, well, I'm 41, so.
I feel like I'm going to get offered a wheelchair at my son's high school graduation. So
yeah, well, I have a lot of bits about it right now about how just irresponsible. It's weird to think about because what you did is right. Having your kids later is the better thing for the kid. Because you're ready for it. You're mature enough. You're like, we had 2 kids before I was legally allowed to rent a car. which is crazy. That there are restrictions. They're like, this guy can't rent a car.
That's irresponsible.
He could raise children in the world.
But he can breed some people if he wants to.
Yeah, exactly. So you did it right. You get a better brain. I get a better back. That's the trade-off.
That's fair. That's fair. Although it's funny that you say, like, you had kids when you were ready, and it still never felt like that. You know, like it's still like
we
you have
weren't
your
ready.
kid and it's
Oh,
like,
you're saying
even
you were ready to have
even
kids.
having kids, and we had kids, it was like the kid comes out and then 6 months later it's like you're in this thing, you're a zombie, but it still felt like, oh my God, this is really overwhelming, you know?
Yeah, I think it hurts a little bit what you just said, because you're saying you had it when you mentally weren't smart enough to do it, but then that's implying that I was, and I was like, I was?
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's what I'm saying.
That was better?
Yeah, I was somehow worse than you.
We'll see how they turn out.
I had more energy. I was better at picking
Yeah.
up toys than you. Mm-hmm. When I think about young kids anymore, I think about how much time I spent on the ground, and now I'm like, I couldn't do it. It's like I stare at the ground sometimes. I'm like, that's going to be a whole thing to get down there.
It's so far away. You were better at picking up toys. We worked smarter, not harder. We just kicked them into a pile.
You spent a significant more time stretching than I did. While you're down there playing with your kids, you're like, I should do some cat-cow right now. I should,
Yeah.
you know, doing a little bit of this.
I was like playing dolls with my daughter the other day, like a week ago, and it was like, Daddy needs to go to the bathroom, but that was because I needed to stand up because it felt like my knees were going to explode.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll be right back. And I was walking
Yeah.
down the hall like, oh my
And you needed to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, of course.
You know, two
Well,
further,
you
two
always
further.
could go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Martin Short has that joke. He goes, at my age, the only time I don't have to go pee is when I'm going pee.
Yeah. I'm standing there like, who shut it off?
It is funny when you have your kids young. Like, you guys are in a whole set of issues that I am not anymore. It is funny to, like, try and commiserate together, where you guys will be like, dude, like, just, you know, the terrible twos and these tantrums that we're going through, and they're having a, you know, first day of kindergarten's coming up, and you're like, and I'm like, yeah, my kid took a weed gummy. And they're like, what? I was like, oh, yeah, sorry, you'll deal with that later.
Yeah,
They're like, they're going to do drugs? You're like, at least one.
Hopefully
For
maybe I'm
sure.
right.
As your kids get older, too, I don't know if any of your kids are athletes. Like, my son is a runner in college, and that's humbling, too, that I'm just like, I can't believe that specimen came from me. Because you know, like, that doesn't resemble me in any way whatsoever. At any point of my life. It's not even like back in the day. I was like, I've never.
Did you play sports when you were a kid?
Yeah, but I wasn't a D1 college athlete. You know,
Heard. Yeah.
A lot of
You
people
know.
played,
exactly. We all played sports. You know.
technically speaking.
My wife and I I texted her the question, like, what was my dumb dad moments? And she's like, where do we begin?
Yeah, you must have saw that 3-dot texting thing for 20 minutes.
Yeah, she opened up a Google Doc and started typing. She's like, I actually already had this saved. So it wasn't even thinking about, like, the dumb things I've done, but also, like, the takes that we had and our ideals when our kids were young. And I've been trying to find this bit on stage. I'm getting there now, but, like, when someone tells me how they're going to be a parent when their kids are under 5, it's very similar to, like, a kindergartner telling me they want to be an astronaut when they grow up. Where I'm like, yeah, let's see where we're at in 10 years.
Yeah.
Let's let some life happen. Let's see how your grades are, and
Let's spin you around in G-force for 10 minutes and see if you still want to do this.
That's a very yeah.
See if those Cheerios are still in there.
Yeah, let's put you underwater and see how you breathe for a little bit. It's very a hot take right now for, like, your kids, like, oh, travel sports are ruining the family. You know, this is like a very popular internet take that people don't mean, and they're saying usually because they weren't athletes or their kids aren't athletes, and it's never actually come up, and it's never been a struggle for them or a desire for them. It's not a real life situation.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking that and being like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, like, a father-son, like, softball league, and that's what we'll play in.
Hey, you go.
My kid was like 3, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we'll do. We'll have a father softball league, as if, and then your kid turns like even like at 8, and they're like, what? All my friends do this. Why would I?
Yeah.
And then you get into like, am I going to create a nonprofit? Am I going to like
Yeah.
just the red tape and the organization of
Where do
all
I
of
need-
that? And then also I'm like, I can't play softball anymore. If for a million reasons it wouldn't work out, but man, 26-year-old Dustin, father of a 3-year-old, was like, that's it, man. I'll probably win some Dad of the Year awards for this. I bet they'll be like,
Yeah.
wow, this guy just changed the sport, the youth sport family dynamic for generations.
What
to
an
come.
entrepreneur.
Oh, God.
That's where wives are great, because they will, they'll break down that idea really quickly, because they'll be like, because you just thought up to that, and she's
Yeah.
like, are you really going to commit to this? Get equipment, and by the time she's on 3, you're like, okay, you're right. Can you please stop? And she kind of goes for like 7 more good reasons why you shouldn't do it.
I mean,
And
she
you're
could have
like,
just been like, so you're really going to make a schedule?
Yeah.
Like a league schedule? And I'd be like, oh, yeah, I don't want to do that. You're right. Well,
It's like, I don't know. As far as I got was considering whether or not my son should hit in the 9 hole.
Yeah, exactly.
Or-
Exactly. I'm like, well, he'll bat 2 because I'm batting 3. I'm like thinking about where I'm going to hit in the lineup.
I'll need speed on the bases.
Yeah,
she only
yeah.
needs to ask, like, are you really willing to run in front of your friends? And
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
you're right. Never mind.
Well, unfortunately, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And then it's, are you really willing to pull a hamstring in front of your friend?
That's the real question.
That was a very stupid take that I had very early on. You guys, I gotta give you guys a compliment. When I saw the first press conference that you guys did, it was one of those, this has happened, 100 times with comics or online creators where you're just, I was angry I didn't make it. That's where I was like, it was right there. How did I miss it? And it's so good. Like, sports, Dad, it was right, and they're so freaking good. Yeah, well done. It's
Thank
a
you.
brilliant idea, and also, even if I had the idea, I wouldn't have been able to execute it as well as you guys. So you also did a great job with the writing and the acting and the content and the setup. I'd have been like, I gotta set up a thing. Never mind. I just do stand up and then yell tweets into my phone in airports. That's my content.
Well, thank you. You had that same experience. It wasn't like I didn't think of it because I don't do stand up. That's why. But that joke you had when the first time you opened for Nate about Caitlin Clark, about what it's like to be on the rest of the Indiana Fever, was such a good joke. Because for those who haven't seen it, Dustin's opening for Nate, and he just has a line, now I know what it feels like to be the rest of the Indiana Fever. And it just went viral. It was such a good joke because it's one of those like, oh yeah, nobody is there to see them.
It's so funny because, it's definitely beneficial, and, you pick up a lot of fans, and it's fun, and you go in these arenas. And I was talking to somebody yesterday about it, and they're like, are those like just amazing and electric? I'm like, yes, but also a lot of people are still getting sat.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people, it takes a long time to get 15,000 people into an arena, and they are not seated by the time you're up there, nor do they care to be seated. So funny and surreal to like be on stage, and there's a bunch of people, and thousands of them are laughing and eating up what you're doing. And also, you're looking at some people just kind of meandering, or like to see someone like with a beer and a popcorn, which means they chose not to watch the opener. If they have the beer and the popcorn, they're like, I'm good. And like asking the ticket person where their seat is, and you're like, so I'm a dad. You're just like, gosh, I've been laboring it. But,
was that like disorienting, like the first time you did, like when you're in such a large space with that situation, to be like, okay, I got to keep going, but also like your brain's also going, who's listening? Because
Who's
there's one woman
listening?
looking at me going, is that Nate?
Yeah. Wow. Nate with a mustache does not work.
Okay.
He seems like he was taking his fashion more seriously, but not tonight. Not tonight. He's really phoning it in tonight.
Maybe he forgot he was doing this.
But is it disorienting? Like that
It
first,
is a
maybe the
little-
first time or still, or
Yeah, well, Nate is so big that he has a lot of people that have never been to comedy shows. They don't even know what's going to happen.
Oh,
Julian McCullen hosts the shows a lot and does a good job of setting up the show. I think it's wonderful, and I'm incredibly grateful, and 95% of it is very fun and beneficial, and I'm grateful for it. 5% of it is tough it is humbling.
sure.
When you're like, humbling for a couple reasons. One, you're like, I don't think I can ever get to this level of success. Like, I've opened for comics before in theaters, and I'm like, I think I might be able to get there. I might. If I keep working hard, and things get going. And you know what? Even in some markets, I'm already in theaters. That's great. When I'm in arena, and Nate's adding arena shows, which the whole point of an arena is you don't have to add shows anymore. Like, that's you. And I'm like, I don't think this is in the cards. So that's very humbling. And then also to just know that look in somebody's eyes. They're like, when's Nate coming on? Just to know that look. And I'm like, I get it. Because, not everybody likes everybody. And I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Now, that being said, these last ones were in the Northwest. And that's like a home run for me. A lot of them knew me anyways.
Oh, sure.
And also, they're like, wow, this guy is opening with 5 minutes of local material. This guy has Seattle Mariners references and a reference to the fact that he looks like the Green River Killer, and we were not prepared for that. So,
when did you decide you were going to be a comedian? I mean, how did that come about?
Much later. The real strong argument for Dumb Dad is starting stand-up comedy was the dumbest thing I ever did.
You didn't start it the day after like your firstborn was birthday.
No,
you were like, oh, my nights are busy. I can't do night feedings.
As a matter of fact, my wife was pregnant with our third child when I was an open micer.
Okay.
So I was 27, had been married for 9 years and had 2 kids, and we had a third on the way. And I was like, I should start this. Now, this was a Dumb Dad thing that worked out, as a lot of Dumb Dad things do, for the record. Dads have a way about us sometimes. Like a well-intentioned dumb idea might end up making us more money than I could have ever made in any other job. So, that Dumb Dad idea has bought my wife a lot of boots. So, yeah, I was 27. And, as a comedian, you tell your origin story a lot. But the dad highlights of them are, it actually did kind of work out because you start very locally when you're developing. And I would always do late spots. Like the first club that I got passed at, the Comedy Store in La Jolla, there's 2 of them. There's the LA one and La Jolla down in San Diego. I would, once you get passed as a regular there, they had these sets called the Best of San Diego, which were Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And once you get passed, you can be on those shows. And I would always ask to go last because it would be at like 10:15, something like that. And I'd be like the 20th comic. A lot of the room was cleared out, but I could lay my kids down. I would lay everybody, because my kids were much younger then. So I'd get everybody in bed. I'd have dinner with that. I'd go to the day job, and then I would come home and be home for a few hours. And then my wife, who either was pregnant or then had a very young child, was like, hey, I'm going to sleep too. Good night. And then a lot of times, especially when I started getting passed at other clubs, Madhouse Comedy Club was a club that would pay me in chocolate cake. And anytime I'd wake there, she'd be like, hey, wake me up when you get home with the chocolate cake. So my pregnant wife, I would wake up, it'd be like, midnight, and I'd wake up and I'd turn the light on, and she would get up and she would eat some chocolate cake, pregnant in sleep in bed, and then hand me a little container and then go back to bed. So
that's amazing.
That's amazing.
Sometimes you miss it. You're like, the simplicity. And then it's like, what's better than chocolate cake? Money.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So when my kids were born, I was bartending nights. And that was what kind of made our life simple, auditioning for things here and there. This is before we started doing the Dumb Dads. So I would do the same thing. I would always be like, I'll work the latest bartending shift, because then I wouldn't put the kids down. Sometimes I put the kids down. It was like in that window. But I would
Right,
have dinner
right.
with them. My wife would working days, and then I put, eat dinner, maybe put the kids down, go to work. But now life, I actually am working a day job and doing Dumb Dads as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've only just started this day job, but I was wondering when were you able to kind of just do the comic thing, and what was
Right.
that transition like? Was that super scary to be like, because it's so scary to commit to any kind of artistic endeavor knowing when you have a family backing up. That's why so many people don't do what the three of us do, which is pursue artistic careers with
Yeah.
the children.
Yes.
So how
yes.
was that for you?
Nor should you, honestly.
Yeah.
It's I
Yep.
don't recommend it.
Correct.
Our rule was always we wanted like 6 months in the bank and 6 months on the books, like financially. Like if
Okay.
we have a year to float us one way. Now, it helped that my wife is an artist. My wife is was like a graphic designer and is still an artist. It kind of like gets the itch, if you and has a leaning towards it. So at least I got some sympathy from her in that
Yeah.
regard. For the better part of like 3 or 4 years, I was working both pretty much full time, where I would leave. I would like work at the rec center. That was my last job. I worked at a rec center, like, kind of like a YMCA, and I'd work there 4 or 5 days a week, and then I would go on the road because that's the only place there was money, was in the road. I don't act. It was kind of it wasn't entirely pre-social media. But it wasn't prominent. I mean, in the social media comic has really been an emergence of the last like 5 to 8 years. You
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've been at it for 14 now. So that happened during my career. So there was no income other than the road. And also there's no way to really develop the way that I wanted to develop other than the road. But I was very, very fortunate that a comic named Tim Hawkins, who does a lot of churches, him and I got connected fairly early on in my career, and I had like a couple runs with him, and it went really well my first couple of times. And then his manager came to me after one and was like, "Hey man, I can give you like at least one of these runs a month every year, like as long as you want them." And he pays incredibly graciously, and then you would make a lot of money on merch too. So that was like a baseline that I'm like, if nothing else,
Yeah.
this can float us for a while. And when they offered that, I went and gave my 2 weeks notice to my job. It ended up turning into 3 months. But because they were like, "Hey, if you stick around another 3 months, you're gonna hit the 5-year mark, and then you get this little retirement thing, and da 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 da." And you're like, "Whatever, I don't care. I got nothing else to do."
Yeah.
At that point, I've been sleeping in airports for like 3 years. I'm like, "What's another 3 months?" So
Yeah.
people don't talk about the finances of comedy a lot, but like when you're an opener in a club, I mean, it's like $150 a show. You know, the money has not gone up since the 80s. We're getting paid what they did in the 80s, you know. And
They've just added cake.
Just old
exactly,
bills.
if you're lucky, yeah. And Tim would pay me like $1,500 a show, and you would make a bunch of money on merch, and you're like, "Oh, sustainable money," you know.
Yeah.
And you, as an opener for other comics in like theaters, like I open for a lot of comics, and they pay a lot more, but just like at some loony bin in Little Rock, Arkansas, like you're breaking even when you're opening. You're barely making a lot until you start selling tickets. You're not making much money as a headliner either.
I love that story. I think everyone who says the reason they made it because they worked hard is obnoxious. It's not. It's obviously luck is a huge part of it, but it's always also somebody who like just
100%.
believes in you and helps you out and gives you the leg up. It's cool to see that you shut that person out, because it is like that's every single person who's ever had any taste of success had somebody else who is just like knew it might not benefit them, except
Right.
maybe to like have a good comic in their place. But like outside of that, being like, I know I can give you a little bit more. He could probably paid you half. And still had you there.
100%.
I always
yeah.
love hearing about those people. It's awesome.
Nate told me this a while back. He said like 90% of what you're going to get in this industry is going to come from other comedians. And that is true. There's been so much. And that is like, of course it is hard work. Like It is dumb luck. It's all of the above. But part of the hard work is just being kind to people and consistently showing up and like and connecting with people, because I'm not talented enough to not work hard, and I'm not talented enough to not like need to have connections with people. You know what I mean? You're like, no, I wish I was like a generational talent. I wish it was God-given. I look at Taylor Tomlinson, who I started with, and she's like my little sister, and I was like, oh, you're just like LeBron. You were just like, you were the most can't-miss prospect in history. You were dunking in 7th grade, you know? Like, that was a no-brainer. Oh, and you work hard? Great.
Yeah.
Enjoy
So happy.
Enjoy the top. Enjoy it all, you know. I was not born with any of that. So I think I would recommend a comedian. Like, I've picked up so much from other people, but one of my closest friends in comedy, Zoltan Cassis, who's based in San Diego, has a new special that just came out called London Fog. He's very funny. He has a joke in there that I felt the same way about the press conference things, where he said, you know, me and my wife each get a vote in marriage, but it's more like the Electoral College, where she's California and I'm Delaware, and I'm like, oh, how did I miss it? That's so good. How has nobody told that joke before? It's perfect. You're like,
that's a great joke.
I remember he told me, he said, like, be nice to everybody, because you never know who's going to get what. And that is true. I mean, you're just like, oh, so-and-so got a talk show. So-and-so has a big platform now. So-and-so is looking for an opener on the road. You know, it's good advice. That mindset that you start something because you love it is usually the people, at least in my world, that make the best comedy, because they're just in it for love of the game. But then that moment when, like, not moment, but it's like a season of life when you're like, could this be our full-time jobs? Like, could this be it? That's the hardest season. And stand up and being a creator or being an artist of any time, where not the season where you're just doing it and it's fun, but when you start to like dream of like, could I not have a job? You know? Yeah. And that's hard. And I feel for you, Kevin, because I mean, I was in it for years, where you're like, oh, because this is the thing you love, you know?
Right.
And it's, you know, it's tough to, it's a tough season to be in.
We're gonna stay with cake here. I stay, and I only say that
I'm like trying to have a heart-to-heart with Kevin.
Evan's like, shut it down.
No, because I always use this as an analogy. Like,
it better not be about layers. I'll get so
really
annoyed.
No, it's not about layers.
Here we go. Come on, Shrek.
Oh boy.
You have to like, it's a beautiful cake that have icing all over and everything is like fantastic. That's like the end product that everyone celebrates and everyone enjoys. But like, what you really have to do is love learning how to make the cake, like all the scientific part of it. It's really difficult to get it right, and it doesn't taste good. You know, it's like you have to really enjoy that process.
This feels a lot like a sermon right now. Could we skip this?
So hands in the air, close your eyes.
Could we skip the cake metaphor?
But like,
the icing is Christ's love washing over you.
It's true. Like when Kevin and I are like sitting in a room, like writing, or like even when we go do our live show and we do the live show and we felt like, man, that went really well. And then we come home and go like, dude, I have like 3 more ideas. I think we could. It's like constantly changing and tweaking and having that's the kind of stuff that's like the most fun to me. You know, back when Kevin and I first met doing sketch comedy, we would like write the sketch and then we'd go do it, you know, for our live shows, and then think like, oh, I think I figure out a way to make it even better. Like that to me is like, that's the part that I like live for, and that's the most fun, you know.
And that's true of stand-ups too. Every stand-up will tell you the best feeling in the world is a new joke working. Yeah. When you have like a new idea that you crafted and it's working, you're like, this is it. This is still the most fun part, you know?
Yeah. I would love to ask, as a dad and as somebody who traveled a ton, has traveling as a comic just taken the joy out of traveling with your kids? Well, Sorry, very quick. Traveling with your kids is terrible.
Yeah, I don't recall the
landing with your kids. Like when you're like in the hotel. See, I like a hotel, but for you as a comic, like that's your break room. So do you just hate hotels?
I love hotels.
Okay.
I don't love when they're in there with me.
Yep. Okay.
Well, again, so my kids are an age now and really a size like physically.
Yeah.
We're 2 rooms now.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because there's not a room to fit
Oh.
us. Where's
We don't
my
need
son's,
the bragging.
Yeah.
you know, my son's 18. What are you gonna? Who's he gonna share a bed with? Me, my wife, his 2 little sisters. There's no bed for him. You know,
no.
God.
I have every status you could ever have on, Marriott and Delta and all those kind of
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
I didn't know you were so bougie. What else? Do you actually park your car in the garage and not use it for storage?
Hilarious that you think I have a garage. Yeah, I live in Southern California. Garage? What am I, the head of NBC? No, I travel wise, I am very bougie. Absolutely.
Okay. Hell yeah.
So much so that you don't want any more details from me because this will be like,
We're not there.
No, I don't. The hard part about traveling is my family, it does not travel as efficiently as me. And that, because I am just
Oh, sure.
a downline, like I'm a dolphin out there, man. I'm just like free.
Oh,
I'm
I
so
bet.
fast and quick in airports, and I'm just like, hurry up.
Like you want to go, like we're trying to go.
My wife, and I love this. My wife has fully embraced the travel princess, passenger princess role. And then she's just like, "Where are we going?" I'm like, "That's the right attitude, everybody."
Yep.
Just on my hip. No one give an idea. Nobody suggest anything. Nobody say where we should be or when we should be there. Follow me. I cannot tell you. I'm on no less. At bare minimum, I'm on 2 flights a week. That's minimum.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just this calendar week alone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm on 8 flights this week.
Whew.
Nobody tell me when we should board. I will tell you when we should board. Thank you. Nobody can handle their own boarding passes. I get all the boarding passes. They're all on my phone. Just follow me. So that when they're embracing that, it's helpful. But the hardest part that drives me crazy is like kids and teens and my teenage son. They lack spatial awareness in airports. I try to explain to them all the way, like in an airport. And the same as a sidewalk, you walk 2 by 2 at max.
Yep.
No 3, 4, 5. It starts getting dangerous. It's like NASCAR. You can't go that many wide, and that drives me crazy because they'll just naturally sprawl out like we're like it's Sex in the City and we're all 5 walking or whatever down the New York street, and you're like, fall in line. That's the hardest part for me.
Spatial awareness. Kids have no idea.
Yeah.
It's funny. I have you definitely have way more of the experience, but Evan and I went when we went on tour on the East Coast. One of the places we stopped was New York, and then a few months later, our whole family went to New York. So I don't have the reps that you have, but it was such a short period of when I went to New York with just Evan and when I went with my whole family, and multiple times I was turning around going, "What is going on?
Yeah,
What is happening here?"
yeah. Don't you know how to walk New York streets?
What is going on?
No,
Yeah.
we don't. We never have. Well, learn.
Learn.
And in their defense, they're like, "This is crazy." And you're like, "I know, but don't look, because then people will."
I get so mad.
Yeah.
Airports in New York are it's everybody all the time, but New York and the airports are the 2 places where everyone fully believes they're the main character of the story. So you better get out of everyone's way and.
Yeah. Like, I know you just were in Times Square and you just saw a rat dressed as Goofy. I get that. But we've got to move.
Yeah, it's the regular here anyway, so no one's surprised by it.
Yes.
Talk about like when you were traveling. I mean, now you're a master traveler, but when you were traveling and your kids were younger, how did you stay, like, especially as a dad, like how did you stay connected and like up to date with what was going on if you were traveling a lot, like back home? Was it? I mean, probably back when Skype was the move, right? Or yeah.
Funny enough, my wife hates looking at each other on screen. She won't answer a FaceTime. She's not a Skype girl. She's
That's
not.
so funny.
Yeah, and she's like, "I know what you look like." And I'm like, fair enough. I think it's because she's so productive, and like a Skype or a FaceTime is like just the thing. And she's like, "I'll talk to you while I'm getting stuff done."
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been hard. I mean, that's the sacrifice that's made for a traveling comedian is we work, I'm on a run right now where I'm like out for essentially 2 weeks. And I don't do that very often, but sometimes I do. And
Yeah.
I work like a fireman schedule where I'm like off 3 to 4 days and then on 3 to 4 days. Usually my normal schedule is I'll leave around a Thursday, Friday, and I'll come home around a Sunday, Monday. That's usually it. When I'm on the road, I do very little touch points with my kids. Like we'll text every once in a while, because my kids are older, and we'll send Instagram reels to one another, and that's fun, and we'll do a little bit here and there. But really it's the touch points with my wife where I'm just like, how are you? How are things going? Just like saying hi to her and staying in her world as much as I can. Our conversations anymore now are sometimes she's like, I'm just so bored. Like, I'm just doing the same stuff I do all the time by myself.
Yeah.
Like, can you just give me some gossip? And I'm like, sure. You got any road gossip? Do you got anything that's happening there? Did somebody just give me? And so I have like a ongoing note in my phone called Things to Tell Mel, and it's always just like whatever dramatic story, something that has some spice to it that I can tell her. But then I try and do all my work. Like when you guys pitch this for a Saturday, I'm like, that's perfect, because I try and do every thing that I can do, with the exception of our podcast that we do together. Like when I'm on the road, I won't take a call from my manager like Monday through Thursday. Like I try and do nothing at home and just try and be dad of the year. Like just try and do everything, absolutely everything I can, because on the weekend I can't do anything. And you just come home and you immediately have to go into like, how can I help mode? And I've realized for me, it's not starting helping. It's asking, how can I help? Because otherwise I'll help wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I did that yesterday. You don't need to do it now. Yeah.
My wife really hates when I come home. My wife hates change. She hates it more than anything, which has benefited me because she's married to me for a long time. She's like, she doesn't even think about a new husband, which is great for me. But like, I'll come home and I'll be like, I wonder if the kids want something else in their lunches. She's like, this is what we pack. This is it.
It's like you traveling.
Yeah. Don't come here and try change the lunch system. All right. It's chopped apples. It's 2 Oreos. It's gummy snacks. It's goldfish. And it is a peanut butter and honey sandwich. That's what it is. And I'm like, but what if they want something else? It does not matter. This is what it is. Okay, honey. Don't try and change the system.
You didn't respond to that picture I sent you of the grocery store, and you didn't pick up on why.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's you at the airport traveling. No. You follow me. This is how we do it. That's I'm just like, no.
And I'm like, I have a different lunch every day. She's like, great. I love that for you. I'm like, oh gosh, one of the things I love about Nashville is it's just so easy to get good coffee and a smoothie every day. She's like, tell me more. I love that.
Never mind. I don't want the gossip. Never mind. I'm gonna hang out. I'm going back to being bored.
That's not the kind of gossip I was talking about.
She texted me this morning. I was like, hey, how's it going? I just woke up. I'm getting some coffee and I'm going to go do this pod. She's like, I just dropped Claire off at theater. Now I'm taking the cat to the vet. And I'm like, cool. I'll say hi to the dumb dads for you. I'm working. I'm working. I'm very slammed.
God, I really love what you said about her not wanting to FaceTime because she wants to multitask. Because I just think when I'm on the regular phone, I will be in a drawer being like, listening, going, I don't remember why I opened this drawer. Like I need to sit down to be on the phone, and she can't FaceTime.
Funny. Oh, that's so funny. I'm similar in the sense that like I this is tough for me, like just to like stare. So she'll usually be doing something. I'm like, well, I'm 41. I should probably go get my steps in.
Yep.
Yep.
Probably go for a little walk.
God, I care about steps too much. I think I don't mind doing it. It bums me out every time somebody goes, it's the best thing you can do for yourself. Then I just get sad. I go, I'm old. Yeah.
Which is very, very humbling. Be like on like a leisurely stroll and be like, I'm at the gym right now.
Yeah. Nobody says that to a 23-year-old. Oh, walking, it's the best thing you can do for you. It's like, no, because they can do other things.
Oh, and my son's a competitive collegiate runner. And I'm just like, I see as like warm ups. I'm like, I couldn't warm up with you.
Yep.
I couldn't. It's like when you go to a workout class and they're like, these are warm ups, and you're like, I'm exhausted.
I'm done.
I can't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that being said, we hike, which is that's high end walking. That's like elite
Yeah.
walking.
Yeah, shin engaged walking.
I admire
Yeah.
the fact that your son is a runner. Like I've always like never. I don't even get running. People they say the runner. Then eventually you get to a runner's high and all this stuff. Like I've hated it. I played soccer and I thought at least I'm chasing something. At least I'm doing
Yeah.
something. And I'm tricking myself into running. But like just running is like never been interesting to me.
That's the joke I do on stage. Like, it is not a sexy sport. Like most other sports are running plus another skill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is not. This is just, that's how they warm up. It's how they compete. It's how they cool down. It's,
Every sport is walking and chewing gum. Running is walking.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, my wife was also a college runner, so it does kind
nice.
of run in the family. And
Nice.
yeah, like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also a good name for a YouTube special, available 2 years ago on my YouTube page. I do think that most distance runners, it was kind of the sport of last resort for them. Like, it was like, hey, this is the one that I'm the right size for. Because
Yeah.
you see them around, you're like, gosh, you look so healthy but sickly. You know,
Yeah.
it's just these
Yeah,
skinny
yeah.
white kids with
Juxtaposition.
mullets in the
Yeah.
woods. You're like, I don't know. Is this a Renaissance fair? I don't know
Yep.
what say. It's a very specific build that they have that they couldn't make it of any other sport. You know.
Yeah, that's a terrifying image. If they don't have a bib on, go the other way.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It is so truly impressive, though. I
Yes.
mean, the other thing is my son was good at it, so he was like immediately like number one on varsity and breaking school records and winning, and that'll do it. He's like, hey, I'm 90 pounds freshman year. I'm not getting a lot of playing time in football. And then he went out for cross country and he's like, I'm the best runner in school history. You know?
That's hilarious. I was so small in high school, and I had played baseball and soccer like my whole life. And then you get to like the high school level, and it's like, oh, these kids are like way bigger and stronger than me. So
Yeah.
I pivoted to golf, and I played golf in high school. So not running.
Golf doesn't care
Not
how much.
running.
And golf is like, I am actually, athletically, I am much less impressed with golfers than runners. In the
Yeah.
sense that
Yeah.
okay, that's not a hot take. Like, nobody's, the skill of golf is harder. But you don't look at it. There are athletes who golf. Don't get me wrong, but the skill of golf is not an athletic skill. It's much closer to pool than they would like to give it credit for.
It's an activity that helps you get your steps in.
And it's
really
very
what it
hard.
is.
Nobody's denying how hard
Nobody's
it is.
denying it's
Yeah, yeah.
hard, but nobody says, I can't wait to retire and play football.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah. Even the best golfers in the world, you don't look at Rory and you're like, what an athlete.
Yeah. Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
You're like, what a golfer.
What
That's
a
what you
golfer
say.
who
What
clearly
a
hits
golf-
the gym.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rory could be your local fit real estate agent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at a football player, you're like, what a specimen.
Yes.
That's crazy. Or a basketball player, or even baseball players, like a lot of them. Soccer players are like pristine. They're like perfect, you know?
Yeah.
They're
Yes.
like soccer players are like the perfect athlete, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then, you look at golfers and you're like, you're good at golf.
Yeah.
You are
golf?
good at golf.
And some of them look like then they go to the gym, and some of them go to the 19th hole, but they're all good at golf.
They're all good at golf. They are all good at golf.
All right, so we're going to get into our dumb dad moments, which is a time when you really screwed it up. I have one. This one goes back a couple weeks because it was from Halloween, but I couldn't wait to tell you. We took a break from this podcast and I was like, this is the one. So we had people over for Halloween as we do, because our neighborhood has this great stretch of block where people, it's just like Mardi Gras. This one block is just amazing. It's just like they're handing out there's one that has a fish market and there's like Swedish fish and like stickers and all these things, and these kids pick. Then there's a lobster tank with just Jello shots for the parents.
Gosh.
It's insane. Every house has something going on. So everybody comes at our house. They meet up. We have some food so that we don't feel bad when the kids overeat all the candy later. And so they're all playing. They were playing in the backyard. And then it was like, all right, it's time to get the kids inside and eat. So I was like, I'll go get them. So we go outside. I was like, guys, come on inside. Let's eat. And all the kids come running inside. And I see this, like, my kids, it doesn't matter. It's all kids. But you know when you tell them, put your stuff away. And then they just don't. And just they run inside. And it's like, well, all right, I'll get it. Because it's just easier to do it than to make the kids in the costumes come clean. And then it takes 5 hours. So I was like, there was a croquet mallet just like on the steps. It was just a tripping hazard. And I was like, what is this doing here? And now I just said, put your stuff away. It belongs in we have like a sports rack in our garage where you just would put it in its little holder. I picked it up and threw it. I was like, I just want this out of my way. So I grabbed it and threw it. And you know when you throw something, even if it's just like a ball of paper at the trash can, that the second it leaves your fingers, you go, that was terrible. This is an awful.
You know it right away.
The second it leaves your hand. That's what happened with the mallet, that I let go and I went, that was too hard. The second I let go of it, and it just hit our like hanging string lights that we have in the back and like snapped the tie for them. And I just stood there as like light bulbs just exploded around me. I didn't move. I didn't flinch. And not because I was cool, because I was broken. Like I was already kind of like just overstimulated from the kids and the day and the costumes and all the things and being ready and hosting. And then just glass was just flying everywhere. And I just stood there and waited till it stopped. And I just started cleaning it up. And the funniest part was that my wife just came out, surveyed the place, and then just walked up to me and gave me a hug and then went back inside.
It was written on the wall what had happened.
She just knew.
Yeah.
And the worst part about doing something stupid when you have company over is almost like one by one, somebody comes out and goes, what happened?
Yeah.
And then you hear the story, and then they go inside, go, okay, who's next? Go out there and ask them. Go out there. And just one by one, people are just coming out going, hey, Kev, what happened?
What
and then they go,
happened?
it's someone else, oh, you okay? What happened? And it just keeps happening. So I was cleaning up glass, and the kids all came outside, and I had to like yell at them because I was mad at myself, but I took it out on them. And I was like, you stay outside. We're eating outside.
It's dangerous out here.
There's glass everywhere. And the kids were like, what happened? And I was like, no, not you too.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Yes. Very dramatic. I love the drama.
Yeah.
This was quite a scene.
Yeah, it was bad.
Did this happen unnoticed? Oh, it was very noticed.
Yeah.
Everybody took
Couldn't hide.
turns.
You can't hide from
Yeah.
that. You can't
It was like one of those sad lines at a wake where it's just one by one. Everybody's got to say their piece. Just come by, come on by, and give your condolences.
That's great. That's very funny. Yeah, I had a list. My wife.
And that's what's nice about this. We admit ours all the time, but when we have a guest come on, it's like,
oh yeah,
you got a list, but you can tell us an all timer.
My wife said, "What about when you forgot their birthdays at the doctor's office?" That's a funny one. I was like, "Yeah, I don't know that now, though. Like, I know the month."
It's like when your wife goes, "Well, we can't this weekend." And you just stare at her, go, come on, you can figure this out.
Yeah.
You can figure it out.
Yeah, there's so many of them, because the next one she says, remember when you forgot to feed them that meal? And I was like, I mean, that could have been a million times.
Pick one, yeah.
Yeah, it's the time you knew about it.
Yeah.
We went on that afternoon hike in Arizona, and you forgot to bring water. That's a classic one.
I've done that.
Yeah. You're like, I did the activity. What more do you want from me? You know?
Yeah. To stay alive during the activity.
Yeah. My favorite of them is, so during COVID, I was relegated to the grocery shopping because I guess everyone voted me most expendable. Like when we were really when we're in the height of COVID and you were like really nervous to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
It was me. I was volunteered as tribute. I was like, why am I going?
Yeah.
And they're like, I have the least, this is going to cost more money having me do it because I don't know how to do it. And I remember the first time I went and, I've grocery shopped before, but I've never done the one for the whole family, the big shop, So my wife gives me this unbelievable huge list. It takes me hours to find everything.
Everything, yeah.
A lot of back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. My wife knows the flow of all of it. She's, she does the shopping in our family, so she just knows that world more than me. And she's already mad that I'm going to a grocery store she doesn't usually go to. I'm like, I like the Vons. She's like, we are a Ralph's family. Okay.
They're topping out his trash.
Yeah. So I'm going through this list and I'm finding everything. It's taking some time, but I really don't want to call home. So one of my strengths is I love asking an employee. It saves so much time.
Me too.
And wherever I love asking an employee where something
You can break that trope of a dad that doesn't need help. It's like,
don't,
hey, boss.
no.
Hey, boss, I got an answer. I need an answer from you.
I know I'm a dad who values his time. And I need to get in and out of this and then go back and sit outside my house and scroll TikTok when I get home.
Yeah.
And then go inside.
Yeah.
So I can find everything on the list. And I'm doing even like some coupon hunting, It says like, the one thing that I can't find is she wrote it down that there's a deal on BOGO, buy one, get one tomatoes. And I can't find anything. Because I think that BOGO is a type of tomato.
Yep. Okay.
And I'm like looking, and then finally I give in and I call my wife. I was like, I don't think they have BOGO tomatoes. And she's like, what? I was like, I see the cherry tomatoes. I see the Roma tomatoes.
Yeah, beef steaks.
I can't find the BOGO tomatoes. I don't think they have them here. And she goes,
You mean bolognese?
No, yeah. And she goes, that means buy one, get one, which I know, by the way. I know the phrase BOGO.
Yeah.
But I see BOGO in front of tomatoes. I'm like, well, that sounds like, I don't know if this is like an exotic type tomato. I don't know what she's cooking, but I can't find these BOGO tomatoes. And she
sounds like, Italian.
She's like, a BOGO tomatoes. Yeah. And she's like, you freaking idiot. Also, it's been 3 hours. Where are you? And you're like, well, you can check my location. I am at Ralph's. I didn't go to Vons. I'm here. And I'd been there to the point, too, where some of the employees were starting to look at me like, dude, what in the world? And
this guy needs a break from his family.
Yeah, I'm wearing a mask. I'm sweating. My glasses are fogged up. Where are the BOGO tomatoes?
Did you ask an employee? That's what I was waiting for you. If you asked an employee, you got to tell me.
I don't think I did. Because there's like 5. There's not that many tomatoes in a grocery store that you're like, they got to be here. Finally, I caved in. I was like, and I felt like I was actually calling with a sense of pride. I was like, I found everything except
for the
BOGO tomatoes.
BOGO tomatoes.
They must not have them at Vons. I think that they
only
have them at Ralph's.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a dumb dad moment for me. Can't
Oh
find
my
the BOGO
God,
tomatoes.
that's the kind of moment that as soon as you then realize what you've done, it's like, I can't take that back, or
It's
never
an
get it back.
ongoing bit and always will be BOGO tomatoes.
Yeah.
BOGO tomatoes.
Yeah. It was hard enough to find half of a milk. I couldn't.
Yeah.
My dumb dad moment was pretty recent. We were putting dinner together. My wife was cooking the dinner. This was the very, very stereotypical moment where it was like I was in charge of the protein, and my wife's doing the rest of the meal.
The protein.
Yeah, and
Such a guy thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
and because I can manage fire and meat.
I'll do the easiest part.
Yep.
I'll do the easiest part. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, how about we mix in a little bit of showing off in front of the kids, right? So.
Uh-oh.
In the middle of the kitchen where my wife has 2 or 3 things going, I'm putting away the stuff I was using. I grab the seasoning, and in front of my kids, I flip it up and catch it, and I get a reaction out of them. And so they're like, do it again. Do it again. And then, my son's like, flip it twice. I flip it twice. I drop it. It hits the ground, shatters the top, and now there's seasoning like all over the floor. where everyone's we're trying to like walk and go back and forth, make dinner. Like, And my wife just looks at me like, "You stupid idiot." Now
Yeah.
I'm in the way cleaning up the mess that I've made that was completely unnecessary.
The one thing that you were supposed to do.
The one thing I was supposed to do.
Way to get a load of this.
I love that your kids have just such low expectations of your talents that they're like, Dad flipped something.
Yeah.
Let's do that again. Look at him.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
Dad
stretched
putting on
this
a
morning.
show. At least he's being a clown today.
What an athlete.
What an athlete. Yeah.
So we have we're going to end it out with we have some questions that we would like to ask our guests on our podcast. What is something from your childhood tradition or whatever experience that you were excited to incorporate into your family when you became a dad?
Not a lot.
Great. There can also be
That's amazing.
the opposite.
Yeah.
Life.
Not a lot of my childhood. I was like, yeah, let's replicate this. No, the strongest connection with my dad in that I have with my son that I really enjoyed too is being sports fans. I like that. And I was excited to buy my son little Mariners and University of Washington and Seahawks onesies and he was born in Seattle, but he grew up in San Diego. He didn't have to stick with his dad's teams or where he's from teams, but he did. And it's super fun, and talking to him about sports and going to games, and it's as fun as I could have ever wanted.
Love to hear that you passed down the generational trauma of being a Mariners fan to your kid.
Oh yeah, unfortunately.
Same, and my son was in tears when they lost. It's like same.
Yeah, you're like, buckle up, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, this is a good year for them. Like you'll be lucky to cry again. It might be 25 years.
25 years from now when they do it again, it'll hurt that much more. Because now growing up, he was born in Los Angeles. And so it's like, I completely recognize, like, I grew up in Seattle, loved all my Seattle sports teams. But it's like, I'm the hometown kid who loves the hometown sports team. Those are not his hometown sports teams, but it seems to have been passed down a little bit because I totally would understand and would figure out how to navigate if he's, God, I don't know, in LA, pick one. You have your choice of multiples,
I wanted my son to be a Warriors fan at least because he was in that age. And I was like, we don't even have a team. Like there's no Seattle team to cheer for. And he just never really stuck with him. And I was like, I mean, I respect that you didn't, like he's like, no, I'll just wait for the Sonics to get back. I was like, you never even had the Sonics, but
yeah,
I respect you for it.
Yeah.
Like fans I respect the least are someone who moved to LA and cheered for the LA team, and you're like, oh gosh, so you just hate your heritage, huh? You're just I'm like someone from the South trying to argue for a Confederate flag.
It's different. It's different for our family.
It's different.
You don't understand. It's cultural.
Okay. Still
feels bad, but
yeah.
from my point of view,
Sure.
I have a quick one. This can be yes or no. Do your kids think you're funny?
no.
You get to something like The Tonight Show. You're on The Tonight Show. Do they care at all? Do
They care about my Instagram following. That's what they care about.
Sure.
Because that's a currency in their world. That is not a currency in like The Tonight Show. They don't care. That's a currency in my dad's world. And I'm 100%. In between where both are currencies.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't think stand-up is not for kids. It's not.
No.
It's long form. It's they don't get the jokes. I do think they like that their dad has a cool job. I think that I think that's makes them interesting in regards to like, what does your dad do? That's a little more interesting. But no, they don't think they're. My wife thinks I'm funny though, which is good.
That's huge.
That's how you get to 20 years.
I give her like a custom act. I use like my best comedy skills that just involve her life. It's like a one-person crowd work show all day long where I can like reference stuff from her life and her childhood and people I know she doesn't like and da-da-da-da-da. So I I'm dancing. I'm dancing at home.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
I'm on. I'm like on when I'm
Yeah.
with my wife,
Yeah.
That's good, because I always said to my wife when we first had kids, I was like, we're going to be obsessed with these kids. Just want to remind you, it's going to be just us again in like ideally 20, but probably 25 years. So
Yeah.
just keep that in mind. Let's keep each other as friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get
I don't
back
know.
to this. We're going to go through
Yeah.
a big journey together to get back to this.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you seen the economy? Your kids are with you forever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do have a garage, but it'll be some kind of apartment for them. I just got to get them out.
Yeah,
Like, legally
exactly.
out.
It's going to get them to the garage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so we often talk about dumb dad moments. Nobody knows what they're doing. You find out the hard way. You did it wrong.
lot
But
of
do you
guesswork.
do you remember a moment specifically where you're like top to bottom? You're like, man, I really crushed that.
No. No, I can't say I do. I think there's been times that we've crushed it together.
Okay.
I'm remarkably good at planning vacations. That's the one that I'm like, if I were to say, what do I bring to the table?
Yeah.
And this is why I crush vacations. I'm so freaking good at them. I save up all my points and I book everything, and that's where I'm like, I'm bringing a lot to the table. But I will, like, this is kind of like a more kind of ethereal answer, not like a specific moment. Like,
Yeah, that's fine.
my son is in college now, which means he comes back, every couple months or whatever, or we go up there. And there's like a closeness that our kids have now that like increased since he's left. And then like they miss him and they love him. And sometimes our youngest will just go sit in his room because she misses him, and they bond together and they have a lot in common and they communicate a lot and they FaceTime a lot.
Ugh.
And that is incredibly rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've looked at my wife. I was like, listen, I know we got a lot of years to go, but my primary goal as a father and us as parents is to foster a family that loves one another and is very close to one another and has a very healthy relationship
Yeah.
with every link, every kid to every parent and every
Yeah.
sibling to one another. And I feel like we're getting like tastes of that right now. I was
Yeah.
like, it's like when they're in your house, you don't sense it. But like, I remember watching my daughter Gloria cry when our son left, and they hugged, and I was like, oh, are you guys close? Because I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't post.
Yeah.
She posted this like TikTok the other day of like, there was like a trend of like when your brother leaves the house or something, and it was like a little swipe one, and it was like, I miss all this and this. There was a time, and it was like, and it's scanned, and I'm like watching my daughter's TikTok, like weeping.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was looking at Mel. I was like, I think we're doing a good job.
Oh my God, that's amazing. It's funny, Kevin. Like when you asked that question, is like, I'm thinking of that answer too. Like, I don't feel a lot of times like nailed that, but it's almost like your kids will give you that feeling. Like
100%.
like,
Yeah.
oh man, I think we're doing something right. Those moments happen
Yeah.
sometimes, and you think like, oh wow, okay, I feel like I screw up way more often than maybe I actually do. Or somebody at our elementary school told us they were like volunteering to be for lunches and stuff and free time at recess. And they told me after school, they were like, I don't know what you are doing or to your kids or with your kids or what you're offering your kids, but everyone came out to the yard to play, and your two kids were like holding hands, running out to play with each other. My son's in 5th grade, my daughter's in 2nd grade. So they're definitely separated enough, to where it's not like they're twins or anything. And they were like, they
Yeah.
just ran out there holding hands, and then they were talking for a little bit, and then they separated. And it was like, hearing that from another parent was like, whoa, that's amazing. Because, and now, of
Yeah.
course, I'm like, I don't know either, because they argued all the way to school in the car, like.
Yeah. Like, I would have loved that's like when a teacher is like, oh, your daughter's just such a joy to have in class. And I'm like, I'd love to meet that girl someday. I'd love to see her. Now, I would prefer that joy
Yeah.
in class. Even a sprinkling of that joy to have in class would be a real delight. But yeah, no, I do think you're right. I think there are elements where your kids can be like, oh man, like maybe I'm not as bad as this as I thought.
Your video that you posted of your son going to college. What the hell, man? Like,
I did have a lot of
your videos are for. We turn to your page. We go, Dustin. Here we go. Smiles hit our
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
What was that, man?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
We were all real beaten up after that.
Yeah, a lot of people were. The comments were funny. Like, dude, I'm just trying to. It's like a Monday. Just let me live. Why am I crying that your kid went to college?
No, because you're seeing it happen. Like, we cry thinking about our son needing to go to middle school next year. That's where we are. You know, we're like touring the middle schools and choosing middle schools. It's like, that's going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard to know that it's like the next step is happening.
It only goes faster when they're in high school because you see them so much less. When your kid starts driving, that is the beginning of the end of their childhood.
Yeah.
That is the last practical thing that they need from you is a ride. And money, of course, but they'll always need money.
They'll always need money.
But like that, when you don't have to drive them to school or to their activity anymore, and they have and you're like, oh, wow. And you're just, I think about it with our youngest, when she starts driving, you're like, that's going to be crazy. It'll just be, there's this like melancholiness, I think, to your kids leaving, and that I've never like enjoyed the people who celebrate being empty nesters. I like love my kids and I love having them around.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing too, my wife has kind of like just a hole since Joel left, that's just, it's just, there's an underlying, kind of sense of melancholy. And she had the most articulate line about it. Where she said, like, it ends up for his world to get bigger, ours had to get smaller.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you're just like, ugh. And I'm like, hey, I'm the writer in this relationship.
Yeah, I was gonna say she came up. That's great.
What's so funny about that too, Evan, is I had been workshopping stuff. I had been like, I had a couple ones that I was floating around. I was kind of sending them out. And then she just riffed that in the moment and then forgot she said it. And I had to bring it up on the podcast. And I was like, we're trying to get a clip, Melissa. You got to say.
I remember that podcast clip too. And it was after I'd already seen your college one. And I was like, hey, man, I'm on the toilet. I don't want to be crying on the toilet. Somebody's going to think I hurt something.
Yeah.
Crying on the toilet because of somebody else's life experience.
Yeah. Kevin, are you okay? Yeah. Dustin and his wife are making me cry. What?
I need tissues. What is happening in there?
Also, there's red in the toilet. Is that bad?
Yes. Our world has to get smaller. Do we have to move out? What's wrong with the bathroom?
I think a lot of parents think about that often. It's like the dynamic of like probably an overwhelming sense of loss when your kid moves out, but also accomplishment because you got them to that point.
Yeah, well, that's the hard part. You're like, this was best case scenario. This
horrible
this
feeling.
Is as good. Yeah, this horrible feeling. It feels. Yeah, Mel said it feels like a breakup, and that is a little bit. And then they come back, and it's great. And then they come back into your house, and then they annoy you, and you're like, you gotta go.
Yep.
And I've been kind of like tinkering around with a bit on stage of like, what you're crying about is not that kid's leaving. What you're crying about is that their childhood is over. That's what you're sad about.
Yeah.
Because the reality is the last few years with your kids, there was a lot of tension in our house. There was a lot of fighting. There's a lot of pushing away, which is very normal for them. The old soiling the nest thing. I don't know if you've heard that term, that they're like, they make a mess of it to make it easier for themselves to leave.
Right.
And so you are doing a bit of remembering old. It's why when everybody does that like photo dump of like all the pictures of when their kid leaves, there's no like 17-year-old. There's no 16-year-old. It's baby and graduation. That's what it's kindergarten and graduation, because you're like, reality is sophomore, junior, senior year, there was a lot of a lot of pushing and pulling. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to pay $30,000 a year to evict you at this point. You've got to go. You got to get out of this house. I just have I don't have like my son in this house. This is a full adult man roommate. I don't want one of these.
Who eats all my food?
I know. Yeah. At least chip in a little bit.
Yeah. Well, one last question. We can end it on this because I think it's a good one to end it on. We know it's all worth it, as we've discussed. Yeah, we can go for 20 more.
No, I'll be the judge of if it's a good question, Dan.
Oh, I didn't say it was a good one to end on because you're like, that's so bad, we should stop doing this.
Yeah.
So yeah, we know it's all worth it. We love our kids. We've all discussed that, but now we don't need to qualify that for the next answer. What is something from parenting that needs to go away forever?
I would say middle school graduation.
There we go.
I'm not like anti-celebrating kids. I'm not anti-participation trophy. I'm not anti-kindergarten graduation. Middle school graduation does not need to exist because it is not an accomplishment that should be celebrated. No. It is not kindergarten is the first year. That's great. Middle school graduation is long and not comfortable, and the speeches are not good because they're like 14.
Don't need to be inspired.
No, they're not inspiring yet. They're not funny. Like the high school speeches, like you ever listen to a high school valedictorian speak? That's a very smart individual.
Yeah.
There was a few this year at my son's high school graduation. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, I'm inspired.
I don't know if I could have written something like that.
I know I couldn't have. I absolutely know I couldn't have. Middle school graduation does not need to exist. It is not an accomplishment, graduating middle school. It's not any more impressive than any of the other grades. It is not a start. It is not a finish. It's just a formality. It's not even that different. High school is not that different than middle school. Yeah. I can make an argument that elementary school one should be way more of a thing because they're going from one teacher to 5-6 classes. Yeah. But yeah, middle school graduation has got to go. Plus ours was in the morning. Who's available for this? Nobody's available for this.
What?
Yeah, so unfortunately everyone knows I am available. So like Dustin's at work on a Tuesday morning. This is the one time we know he doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, and there's like our high school is a big one. It was a huge to do. There was food trucks. It was great. Family came in town. It was wonderful. Middle school graduation. I was like, can we
get out of here?
You also have to spend like 3 hours at the middle school campus, and that is like PTSD. That's like anytime I'm walking around a middle school campus, I'm like, I've got to get out of here. I can't. I got like a 20-minute max here before memories of back knee are coming back in my mind.
Memories of the inciting incident that made me a comic are coming back.
Exactly. Yeah. So middle school graduation.
The things that happened to me in my life that made me funny.
Yeah, unfortunately. This was the darkness that I was raised in.
We were touring the middle schools, and it was like all the lockers now are like this big,
Yeah.
And I was like, how is a kid supposed to get shoved in there? I don't understand. I got shoved in a locker.
My kids they don't even use lockers anymore because they have ADHD and they can never remember their combination. So relatable. My daughter was like, hey, I'm just going to put the code on the lock. You're like, just don't do the lock at that point.
Yeah.
Why don't you just leave it open?
Yeah. Hey, my bag's open. Just come get whatever you want. Just my phone, a $50 Target gift card, and tampons. Come and get it. All right, great.
They only took the tampons. Interesting.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Well, somebody was in need.
It's good that you pay it forward. Dustin, thank you for hanging out with us, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're such a funny guy. You're such a fun follow. Let people know, like, where you're on tour. I mean, I guess you're not on tour, but you're always touring. You're always going to comedy clubs. Where can people find your stuff to keep updated? And what are you promoting right now?
You can just swing over to DustinNickerson.com. That's where all my tour dates are. Me and my wife have a podcast called Don't Make Me Come Back there, which we're trying to get you on, but Kevin
It'll happen.
works Tuesday mornings, I've been told.
I sure do.
So we'll find another time. And yeah, my tour dates are there. I got a couple comedy specials. I got a book called How to Be Married to Melissa. I got lots of stuff out there.
Love it.
Good advice for others.
Yeah.
How to be
Yeah,
married to
the
Melissa.
marriage book. The premise of that book is how stupid marriage books are. People are like, go on a date night. You're like, that might not work for you, actually. You gotta find what works for you, man.
Exactly. Well, we always like to end our podcast with a stupid dad joke, and we have a professional comedian on the podcast. You got to give us, what's the best dad joke you got?
Oh yeah, this is one that I do to my kids. They hate when I do dad jokes, like any good parent. But mine, I will like to think that mine are like a slightly higher caliber.
Yeah.
But
Most dads do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
My daughter she was like begging for Doc Martens for shoes because they were like trending. I was like, you are 14 and those are $150. And I was like, we can get you these Nurse Martens, the off-brand shoes. I was calling them the off-brand Nurse Martens. And she hated it so much. And then I was like, I had like a tag to it too. I haven't told this to them. I was like, they do just as much work, but they get paid way less or something like that. I had like I had a nurse joke attached to it that she never understood. Nurse Martens was one that still gets used around the house quite a bit.
Like, Dad, this is the longest, most annoying way to say no.
Yeah. The answer is no. Well, they don't like no. The
An
no
entertaining no.
Exactly. Yeah. At least let me have some creative juices flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is amazing. Thanks for coming on. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Please rate and review this podcast, and we could read your review on this pod. Thanks to Verdú on SoundCloud for the music, and thanks to my lovely wife, Annie, for editing this podcast.
Thanks, Annie.
Thanks for having us, and take care.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?